Yeah, good evening, Dr. Samir Sharma. Can you hear me?
Very good, very good. We can hear you, we can see you, and hope you can see us also.
Yeah,
And
very
along with all the
clearly.
panelists there, and have enjoyed two beautiful presentation. So today is the, I know with the early morning you have 1 hour lectures from there on various topics, and now the Mount Sinai. And welcome AIM 2020 and Dr. VT Shah and the team, and of course Abbott Pharmaceutical to making this our basic Abbott Vascular for this conference and giving us a chance. On left side is Dr. Kini, which have been in all our cases, and Amit Huda on the right side. He's our international fellow, came from Delhi, and then we'll be doing structural. We'll train him fully before he goes back to India. And of course, our cath lab staff, we have Gurpreet, and we are total like 9 intervention fellows, 2 structural fellow, 2 vascular, endovascular fellows, like 13, 14 army, the full army of fellows. But clearly that I'm so happy that this third day of this AIM 2020 is accomplishing its task. I've been involved yesterday, and of course quite a bit today. And this will be our live case, a complex. That is what they wanted, the left main case. And of course, our combination of the calcific lesion treatment. So that's the case we are going to show. If everybody okay, we can start this case presentation, and then we'll show you the slides. Basically the live case, this is the 72-year-old female, did not have any prior coronary history. She did have a little hyperlipidemia, some GERD, some anemia on few medications until few weeks ago, presented with class 3 angina to outside hospital and had a positive stress test. She had a cardiac cath, which revealed ostial left main and 2 vessel disease with a normal EF. That time she was started on clopidogrel aspirin. She used to take just little torvastatin and of course metoprolol. So this is where we are now. So basically the angiogram will be shown by Dr. Kini now. So where we are, RC intervention was done recently, and today is for the ostial left main and the proximal LAD. So LV is normal, little bit of hang of the apical wall, but look at the calcium. I say the best way for calcium, I know we can do all those things, OCT, IVUS, but look at the angiogram. Angiogram will tell you the calcium definitions, and that is what I'll show. And this was RCA intervention done a few days ago, and today is for the ostial. Show the lesion now. Anu, show what you saw. Yeah.
So if you see here, significant ostial left main, can we show some hemodynamic tracing there? You can see the damped pressure, and I think she has had some ST depression ever since we placed the guide. And then significant calcific ostial, so I mean proximal LAD, as well as you have this lesion is involving a small size diagonal, long, almost more than 30 millimeter lesion you can see in the proximal LAD.
And we also welcome.
And I can just show here the ramus looks okay, and the circ is fine, but significant ostial left main disease.
And all our panelists and moderators, Dr. Ashwin Mehta, Dr. Ratan Parki, and of course, Sheth, all our friends. So we are starting very calcific now. Ostial left main does not look that much calcium. And always question comes that, are you okay with just the angiogram, or you want to do some more testing? And I'll share, if we'll have a time, to little more. We want to go to caudal just to see going to the LAD, because LAD has very sharp turn. You're going with the rotawire directly. This is the kind of case you could go with the rotawire directly also. Most of the complex cases, we clearly teach, don't go with the rotawire. But here, see that on top, when I did the MACE trial, basically was that you just take a dry shoot without dye, and based on that, decide on the angiogram. So in this case, if we had to do this, we'll just take a put here, and then based on definition that you do a angio.
You so Samin, you know, what's your strategy? I can see that yes, there's a fair amount of damping which is happening on the the guiding catheter. So what's the strategy out here? You have a fair amount of calcification, left main ostial disease, and then you have a long calcified proximal LAD disease.
LAD. Yes. So very good point. So our plan here is, many times when there is a really like 90% ostial or proximal left main and there is a significant lesion downstream, I treat the left main first because that makes the case less hemodynamically problematic. And then you do the intervention of the remaining vessel. But in this particular case, apparently was very difficult to engage the guide.
Yeah.
You have to move the guide. Yeah. And
Let me see.
it's the ventricularization, as you can see. You need
One
a
of-
little sharp cut.
And
I did.
I think you should also mention that one of the concerns if you treat the proximal lesion is the fact that you then have a dissection proximally, and then you're always pushing a guide into a dissected plane, which again is something which you should be very careful about. So I think you have
You want to
pluses
change the
and
guide?
minuses of both strategies.
Correct.
It's just a
Yes. Yeah. No, very important point. And I think it's okay, a little bit of extra depression. There is definitely ventricularization, you can see there. But yes, if little more issue, then you can just do a cutting balloon, because I think the calcium is in the aortic wall a little bit, in the proximal LAD, particularly ostial LAD, and proximal part of the LAD lesion. And we can just do the maybe, because for the ostial, you'll require a very big burr, and so otherwise just do a cutting balloon and put a stent in the ostial left main, stabilize the guide situation, and then go further. Now, right now, this is the VL guide, so it's kind of pointing towards more to the circumflex, and so we can look for a FL 3.5 guide also.
And obviously,
Let me
Dr.
put the guide
Anil
out.
is trying to keep it as out as possible, so as not
Yes.
to get too much of a wedging there. She's trying to keep it as
So
out
Dr.
as
Samir Sharma, there is a question here that when would you use any mechanical support for such kind of dampening or hypotension while guide engagement? And secondly, the other issue is,
FL.
will side holes help in this case?
Get a trio.
Yeah, so very good point. So I think the side hole does help, but my only question comes is, it definitely weakens the guide if you're trying to do some double stent strategy for some reason. In this case, if the ramus gets involved and the side holes really, when you make artificial side holes, does give little trouble. But side hole definitely is the answer
To
for
tell
many
you-
of these cases. Yeah.
To tell you frankly, I'll just go to comment one thing. Samin, I haven't used a side hole for practically 15 years. It's such a false sense of security. You still have lower pressures inside the coronaries. What you're getting is aortic pressures all the time, and you're actually still hypoperfusing coronaries.
No. Ashok, I have a little, two things. I mean, in this kind of situation, what I do is that I take two wires, allow the first wire to go wherever it goes, and that stabilizes the guide catheter, and we can keep the guide catheter outside the ostium.
Yep.
Then
Agreed.
and then you can very comfortably cannulate the artery of your choice at your target artery.
That's right.
Right. So that is the second point. Yes.
Yeah, about the side hole, especially in an ostial lesion, what happens is opacifies the aortic sinus so much that the visibility of the ostium is suboptimal. Right, Ashok?
Yeah.
Correct.
Yeah, and then I agree that the pressure might give you inadequate or inaccurate information, all right. But I don't go by pressures. When I'm doing CTO, for example, in the right coronary, I use always a side hole. What happens is that you look at the washout of the dye. When you see a washout of the dye very good, that means you are not hampering the flow.
Yeah, right coronary, I agree that we always use, I mean, I can tell you even with the high creatinine, because we see so much spasm with the right coronary, I always use the right coronary with the side hole guides. The left, just for various reasons, have been spoken good. So key is that, yes, using another wire, as mentioned, then you can manipulate the guide actually. So every time it doesn't have to come out. It doesn't have, you want to just go with the rotor now directly? Or
No, but
okay.
in this case, Dr. Kini was using primarily she was going with the rota wire. Therefore,
Correct.
Yeah.
what Dr.
No,
Mehta suggested, that technique she could not do.
Yeah, no, we did actually. Then we changed it to our usual combination, Fielder fine cross. And
Correct.
even that Fielder fine cross, just as soon as comes out, it curls up. So with that VL trio guide, we change it now to the FL 3.5.
So
FL trio. Yeah.
Okay.
You see this guide, it comes out, and yes, in this particular case was that one, can you put a wire separately. The second issue always comes also in this, that do you need any hemodynamic support? Somebody who is a normal ejection fraction will not be needed. But yeah, I think the engagement of the guide, yeah.
Once you have the guide, once you have the wire down, and of course, in this case, it has to be another wire and with a fine cross.
Yes.
Then, of course, you can keep your guide out at the ostia and do everything as required. So I think that's the important aspect of it.
Good.
Getting the wire is the most important.
Yeah. Good. There was a little air bubble, as you probably saw it. So we have de-aired it now.
You get me a run through wire maybe?
Yeah, so put one wire.
So this is a regular wire.
This is the
is not a
fielder.
rotor. Yeah, this
fielder.
is
There
not
it
a
is.
rotor wire.
No,
Yeah.
There
no,
it is.
no. Yeah, yeah, good. Let's go to epicranial view again.
Yeah.
So this is what usually happens. Once you've got the wire down, your pressures are less wedged.
Yeah, because automatically same. The point is very important that in these cases, and I would say that, always our cases are teaching point, even they are simple.
Can you show me where I am?
The pull back a little bit, yeah. So key is that put a second wire, and that is what done in many of those radial procedures, because radial, the same issue. You want to engage into one particular vessel, it always is difficult, and the guide comes out. So put one wire into whichever, even your culprit or target vessel, and then you can disengage the guide. Now this is question, is it in the some branch or want to go to caudal again?
No. Let me just tell you, let's engage better.
Yeah. Okay, now we engage again now.
We may need.
Yeah, it looks.
It's in the septal.
Yeah. It's in the large, very aneurysmal.
LAD.
Okay, this is some other branch. Yeah. I think we need to go to caudal view because very overlapping vessels.
That's right.
In this particular case.
Vessels.
Then I'm actually very happy to see Dr. V.T. Shah in action after a long time. A lot of relationship in the past. Many time, of course, with the new virus, the travel has decreased. And I wanted to just share one story that when
Can you get me a done through?
When the Absorb came, we actually, one of the patient, 40-year-old, has 3 vessels, but all wanted Absorb stent. So in that particular case, we put 7. And that patient at that age was like 38, 39. And I was told until 5 years that he did extremely well. All the Absorb stents. I know the Absorb has a bad name, just the way, because I think it's one of the highest number used in India. But it definitely, we didn't follow in terms of real publications and support the device. And of course, other trials have got 3 and 4 really killed it. But I think we missed those kind of cases, particularly those stents in young age, and this will
prematurely withdrawn, I would say.
Yeah, absolutely.
Prematurely withdrawn. I think it was a business decision, unfortunately.
Yeah.
Ashok, we call it buried alive.
Yeah. I mean, Abbott made the business decision. It was to do more with business than with the device.
Yeah. Very tortuous vessel. So this is now
run through.
Now this is the run through has been used, and now fine cross advance. Good. Yeah. And not only that, the Absorb part of the Prospect trial really showed very nice, of course, no scaffold thrombosis. And now, particularly with this whole concept of the plaque sealing of the vulnerable plaque, sure. I think it will will be a very difficult to do with the duplicate. Yeah.
So just to tell you the technical challenges.
The concept is still sitting on the balance. Yeah, please.
Yeah, the guide initially we had a VL40 guide. Sorry, VL 3.5, which was definitely damping, and you saw how the pressures, even now the pressures, but we don't see the ST depressions. But then I think the VL, though the left main is, moderately long, I think it's close to 20 millimeter left main, was not allowing me to wire into the LAD despite, curve in the fielder. Then we change the guide. We are able to wire into the LED. And then what happens is this polymer jacketed wires are very good in traversing many part of the vessel. But then when we entered the prox LED to the mid LED, you see multiple branches. And I think we were getting into multiple branches. That's when I knew we have to change the wire. So the wire strategy is we change into a run-through wire, which is our workhorse wire, which has a hydrophilic coating, but not polymer jacketed. So that way, we are able to avoid the wire going into all small branches. We were able to just go through the main LED. Then we exchange. It was over the wire fine cross. And now we exchange a rota floppy wire. And now we have a 1.75 bar.
And we have the 1.75 Rota Pro. And ready. I know Rota Pro is not available there in India yet, but they definitely will take away a lot of complexity of the device setup with the Rota Pro, and everything is on the knob.
So Sameen, after so many years of using your foot pedal, how did it feel to? And you know what Paul Thiesteen says? What he can't figure out is how to get his foot onto the table, onto the cat's table.
That's it. That is correct. That is always. And of course, Dr. Pedro Moreno is here after the OCT, which of course will show the OCT in this particular case. But we thought at this time, very tight lesion. That's why you wanted to do it later.
Yeah.
Knowing that our decision in a severely calcified lesion, I tell everybody that unless there is a doubt, moderate or so, you do OCT before. Otherwise, do it in the end, because you are not changing the strategy. Yes, of some people who don't want to do Rota, maybe it's a reasonable approach. Yeah, good.
Yeah, one of the important, I think, contraindication. I know there's a lot of, the hype about OCT. You got to know when not to do OCT. If you see here, ostial left main and a significant, almost 80% long lesion. This is a kind of case where if we try to do OCT, we could be into trouble in the sense that if there's no dye washout, you should not ever do OCT, because you'll put the patient into VFib. So very important. That is what I suspected because of the long lesion. And then we already see that ostial left main is significant with the damping. We'll try not to do OCT because you need the guide in position. So there has to be dye washout. If you have a damped pressure to begin with, and then you're giving, OCT with high pressure dye, patient will go into VFib. So this is a contraindication right now for this particular case. Let's do Rota, cutting balloon of the ostial left main, and then decide that we can do the OCT. So we are ready to do the Rota. So we just check the speed.
Check now you know that this Rota Pro, I had designed all this, so it comes automatic with the 155. You can change it if need to be, but it comes fixed 155. The deceleration is much lower. It's all set. And just wanted to say, I know Pedro Moreno is also here. Today is a regular working weekend cath lab. Every other Sunday, we do elective cases. We have 24 elective cases on the schedule. I don't know how many will be add-ons, but Pedro, after giving the lecture, is here. And Pedro, welcome you here with our AIM 2020 conference. And this is the live case will be starting. Yeah, good. Let's go. So we're ready now to a 1.75 bar. And also at the same time, once you're burring, make sure your balloon is ready on the table. Your wire you are going to use and balloon you are going to use should be on the table, not nearby. Reason is even 30 seconds, if you develop perforation, will be very catastrophic. And one issue that avoid hypotension, that make sure that very clearly whether it will do anything for the ostial left main. Why not? Let's cut little ostial left main. Maybe we'll do an eccentric plaque cutting. Yeah.
Okay.
It will actually will not. It will just go by itself. Yeah.
Will not. It'll just go.
You want to do left main?
Yeah.
I think went through it.
Okay. Yeah, went already.
So just wanted to go through the 3 steps here. This is the Dyna button, which is right here. Okay.
Yeah.
So you press the Dyna button. What you do is you move your knob backward, forward. This removes the tension between the Teflon sheath and the rota bar. Second is the Y connector, backward, forward. It removes the tension between the wire and the bar. And the last thing you do, once you're done all this, is tap on Dyna. You see that? Even if it jumps, moves forward, it will be at the very low RPM. And then what I have done already, you see that the guide is outside. So you can see the pressure. We can show the pressure
back
in
to
the
the
side,
pressure,
little bit
please.
of the pressure
And
in the
slow down.
side, just a
Yeah.
little bit of the pressure in the side. So they'll see as we are burring. So once we are done all that, Dyna is off and I'm going to start burring right from the left main, but the disease is mostly in the LED. So you see slow pecking motion.
So, Samin, you said it's fixed at 155,000 and you can't
Yeah,
dial
yeah.
it up?
No, you can dial it up. Yeah. No, but no,
Now
you definitely
starting.
can dial up to anyone. But I'm saying
Right.
that factory setup. So that less,
Okay.
you know, in the past, we regulating,
Correct.
down regulating, it's
Correct.
coming automatically fixed.
Fine.
And this is the
fine.
Rota
And,
Pro 2 advantage. In the past, there was no resistance. And there were a lot of cases of burr entrapment because burr moves. So we put that resistance also. I went to the plant, made a lot of suggestions. But key means, yeah, you can go to any speed. But it just comes set
Okay,
up with
good.
155. So less, more dialing and so.
Right.
So can you shift
So less
that
of
to
manipulations.
145 or 165, 175? How do you do it
Anyone.
there?
Yep.
No,
No,
but
there is a dial button. There is a dial button. So show the flow.
On the,
Can we show
on the console?
the console?
Cannot. Now you have to move the console to
Yeah.
that camera.
Yeah.
Okay,
move
let's
the-
finish Rota.
yeah.
Then you can show.
Then
it.
we'll show it. Yeah.
yeah.
But yeah, definitely. Yeah. So we'll show that. Yeah. No. There definitely whatever dial you do, and if it becomes more than 5,000 RPM, it will make the light. It actually comes the red and orange light comes triangle that you are drought more than 5. So 1 point, we did go down to 147. So it did come. So now after it is done, you nice polishing. Do one more polish. Now also I say that you change the wire position, so that will take the burr into a different eccentric direction, maybe for a little more debulking or plaque modification.
Yeah. And if you know, there's some
Yeah.
nice Japanese study, which is, and I do that regularly, just drop the revs down to 140, 130, and then do the final runs at a slow pace, because that again gives you a larger lumen, which has been demonstrated quite scientifically by Sakura, I think, and his team in Japan.
Right. Good.
yeah.
Okay.
So,
We're done.
Dr.
We can show
Dr.
this now.
Samir Sharma, here
Other
there is
way.
a question.
Take a picture.
You said that you changed the guide wire position so that it ablates something more eccentrically. So how do you change
Yes.
the wire position?
Yeah. So very important that you have to press the
rotating
brake
that-
release. No, just the brake release. You put a brake release and put the wire back and forth. You have to release the brake.
Okay.
So while in motion, you can change the brake, you press the brake release and then.
Advance the wire.
Yeah.
That's what he's trying to
Yeah,
say.
pull back or
When you
advance,
pull back,
both.
advance,
Yeah.
pull back, advance,
Yeah.
whatever it is, the orientation
Yeah.
of the wire
that bottom.
position in the vessel changes. That way, less wire bias.
Yeah.
Okay.
No, or more eccentric.
Actually,
Wire goes into different
Less
direction.
wire
Yeah.
bias gives eccentric.
So
power.
that's the dial knob is still there. You can go to 190, 180, whichever way you want. But key is that to avoid, take away multiple steps, it comes with a factory setup of 155. And as I mentioned, that looking at it, even the red light used to be stall. Remember here, it actually even 5,000 drop in RPM gives you that signal, because where you started, you know, you may start 155. In third run, you may start at 147. So key is that once where you started, if it goes down by 5,000 of your start point of that particular bar run, it will give you the orange and red light.
Right.
Orange light for 5,000 and 10,000 will give you red light. You have to go to Caudal again.
What happened? You removed the wire or?
No. Rota wire always there. You see that? The rota wire there. Now we are putting up a side by side wire. You want to go to
Yep.
Caudal?
Mm.
Yeah.
But the-
Remember, very sharp takeoff.
In fact, one of the reasons for not just one of the reasons for leaving the rotor wires also that when you do a balloon, it almost works like a
In balloon.
Scoring balloon.
scoring balloon.
Yeah.
At least. a
And
scoring wire.
secondly, if there is a choice to upgrade the bar, if your lesion did not break, did not yield, you can always go up. In this particular case, we have 7 French. So if we need to be, we can go up to 2 bar because we use a 1.75. In the 6 French, you can go maximum 1.75. With a 7 French, you can go to the basically with a 2.0. Now,
Correct.
once you go to the higher one, 2.15, 2.25, you need 8 French, and beyond that is 9 French, and so, which is very difficult to get the guide of that size.
I think I'm in the diag.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So
no, you're there.
there is another question, Dr. Samin Sharma, that why did you choose 1.75? In India, standard is to use 1.5. So what
Yeah,
made you
that-
choose
No, but
1.75?
very good point. So see, this LED is at least 3.5
It's a
millimeter.
large
Can
vessel.
you give me
Yeah, large, just because of that. 3 millimeter will be
Correct.
1.5. What do you need now? Over the wire?
some dice so I see where it's going?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, so I would say that yes, 1.5 is the majority for a 3 millimeter vessel. If it's a 3.5 and 4.0, that was the region that we used a 1.75. Yes,
Yeah.
if it would have been a 95% lesion and this such a long segment, I would have gone with a 1.5.
1.5, that's right. And that's
Yep.
the degree of the stenosis and the length of the lesion also dictates.
Length, yeah.
Because you don't want a lot of debris going down with a large burr in the first
Yep.
instance. But this was fine. This is exactly the ones you use 1.75. It
Yep.
gets you shaving off the osteoproximal LAD much better. These are large
Good.
vessels.
Now this is the 3.020,
3.5.
3.520.
And same, your balloon, post balloon has to be a vessel size 1:1. This is what we are. We think it will be a 3.5 LED. So that's what we did, 3.5. And go high pressure, 18-20 atmosphere, so that you definitely crack the lesion. Good debulking has been done. Then you have to prep the vessel. So 1:1 NC balloon, 1:1 vessel size.
And then you decide your stent size. Yeah,
Yeah.
good.
Go up here.
Yeah. Yeah.
Giants.
Yeah, that's 3.538
Okay, good. Down.
or 33.
Now for the ostial left main, we will use a
4.0.
cutting balloon.
Yeah, no, we'll use, but for the
Yeah, so-
LED, let's finish the LED.
So
Yeah.
So that was the question. When do you go with a cutting balloon as the next step after your rotablation? So where
Yeah,
go with
very
a
good point.
NC balloon. If there is waste, then go to cutting.
Yeah.
How do you go?
Yes, that's the way it is. So here, if you see here, we have documented that there's a good expansion with the balloon. So we don't need to have do a cutting balloon. If the vessel had not opened up with a NC, again, same, we go up to 20 atmosphere or so, 1:1, then we will go with a cutting balloon.
So that
Sameer,
is a good point. So now just
Sameer,
to add to
after
it,
the-
we are doing, yeah.
once you have, and I hope
Yeah.
that you would soon have, this is the sort of lesion we would actually do an IVL very clearly at the ostia, go with a 4 IVL at the ostia because we have it available to us. But I guess that when
Yeah,
you
but-
have it available to you, you
Yeah.
may actually be
But-
using IVL.
Absolutely. Yeah, no, this is the 4.0. This is the good case for the 4.0. But
Yeah.
if the 4.0 has to be available, yeah.
Yeah,
Huh?
that's right.
Huh?
No,
Put a
he wants
stent
to do
first and-
OCT. Let's
No, you
do
can
the-
put a stent in the LED and then you can do OCT and so for stent expansion. And as far as the deep wall injury and so, we have expert here, Dr. Moreno, with all the stent deep wall injuries and so, any difference question was after rota, do you do cutting balloon or high pressure balloon dilatation, one versus other? 33 or 38?
So the question is well taken. I think
38, right?
if you
38.
if you can actually go through the internal elastic lamina and with your rota, that's what you
Put
need
the
to
ostial
expand
stent.
the
I think
stent.
otherwise doing OCT maybe
Nevertheless,
trouble with
this
the
is a
damp
very big
pressure.
left
That's
main, and probably the MLA was more than 1.75, and I'm not sure the stent, the rota actually did the work to open the ostium. So
Yeah, in
I
India,
am with
no.
Dr. Kinney that a cutting balloon before stenting the ostium of the left main is appropriate here.
Yeah, but on the other hand, why not IVUS? I mean, here we are talking
Yeah,
about
yeah.
OCT.
Yeah.
If we're going to stent the
Yeah.
ostia of the left main, this is a 3.5 LED. It's got to be a 4.5 left main, if not 5.
Yeah,
So
absolutely.
I would have clearly used an IVUS to guide myself. I'm sure the 3.5 is correct, but I'm still not sure as to the
That's
size
a
of
good
the
point.
left main.
That's a very good point.
Yeah. So question is that can you size based on the OCT or IVUS, or you do angiographic assessment and then you decide if there is some question left. So I think that's a very, very important point. Remember the iLumen 3, which looked into this aspect, take the wire out, rota wire now, Now we are going to take the rotor wire out.
Let's see.
After looking into in the caudal view, the key is that remember our eyes have become so good and our technique that in iLumen 3, the main point was MLD, post-stenting. And it was no different in OCT versus angiographic. Just because we got so good. Yeah, there was a little dissection differences and so on and so forth. Whether that will translate into a real outcome, we'll see with the iLumen 4. But just to say that this is a good position now, right?
Yeah.
Good.
Now I
Take the rotor wire out now. This is the 3.538 Zion Sierra. What do you
Some
want?
die, confirm that the
Little die?
position, the
Yeah.
stand didn't move when we took the wire out.
Good.
Everybody happy?
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
Amit, you're okay? Amit? Good.
Good.
Go up.
Going up now. Yeah, usually stand deployment at 16. And then so, yeah. So question was in this particular case today, I know a lot of things have been shown with the IVUS and OCTs and so. But we
do the
just
second one.
going to show here
Go up
the
again.
OCT. But yes, to me, I think the vessel sizing and so still we don't have a real understanding. I agree with the on that point with the Ashok that vessel sizing, all the OCT studies have shown they are 0.5 or 0.75 lower than what we decide with IVUS. So if you really want to size the vessel, to me, IVUS is a better tool than OCT. That clearly in my opinion. Otherwise, your angiography is good enough.
Correct.
And
I mean,
yeah,
well,
yeah.
I mean, and you still have to couple for the experienced operators, I'd say that, or the less experienced, you still have to couple it with some common sense. You keep chasing IVUS dimensions,
Yeah.
you will increase perforations as well.
Yep.
Hmm.
Okay, let's take a picture and then we'll cut here. Yeah, still there is a lot of dampening. So let's furrow cutting.
Oh, wait. Okay,
So,
furrow
Samin-
cutting for the left wing.
Yes.
Samin, if you forget and accidentally jail the rotor, it is far more difficult to remove rotor wire from the stand.
Yeah.
No,
No, but why? No, remember we learned now. In the past, it was like absolutely no. We actually have described some cases with a very tortuous right coronary. Your guide liner even will not go with your deep seating with the balloon anchoring. You can jail the entire length of the wire into the
Not the-
vessel for a distal,
No, no,
but
he's
rotor
asking
wire
not the
is
rotor
much
wire,
more
not the
difficult.
rotor
Not the
wire,
rotor wire. Yeah,
because it's an
absolutely not a rotor wire.
0.9 wire with a 0.14 distal tip.
4. Yeah, it will become the key is avoid jailing the wire at the time of stenting, except if it is in the side branch. And usually there is a question of hydrophilic versus your non-hydrophilic wire, but definitely not the rotor wire which you need to jail. Same time, orbital and rotational atherectomy, you cannot jail the wire while any other wire when you are doing the intervention, because otherwise it'll cut the vessel, cut the wire. And lastly, with the cutting balloon, people always ask the question that can you jail the wire with the cutting balloon? Answer to that is yes. That is not a problem. Yeah.
Looks okay.
Go up.
Yeah.
Okay. So this is weird. This is tell us what would
4-0. Yeah.
Yeah, it's a 4.0 Wolverine 406, and this is now 14 atmosphere.
Okay. Down.
Show this that it inflated nicely. Yeah, and you can get a 4.0 12.
Now this one, what you could do is bring it into the guide and rotate a little bit and go back in. So you're changing the blade. So now we will do one more cut.
Okay.
You know, it's clearly been shown that 2 or 3 inflations of.
At
Okay,
least.
down.
cutting
You know
balloons.
what? We were not at the lesion, I
Yeah.
think.
I think you're beyond the osteo.
Pacemaker out.
Yeah.
Take the pacemaker out.
No, don't do anything. It's
Okay.
spacer dependent. Okay, go up here.
Okay.
This could be the one.
Just slow, particularly when you are doing a second inflation, because your balloon has been deflated. So you make sure you're go a little slower with the second one.
Okay.
First one is not an issue. See, now it is.
Now you have to go higher.
Yep. Going 12, 14.
That's good.
Yeah. Now it opened up.
Okay, you see the ST depression she's having.
Yeah. And clearly in those cases, you remove the guide, let the vessel have some perfusion, and rapidly take the balloon out.
Okay, now you want to take a definite picture. Okay,
Okay.
let me just not on the
Little
guide.
off the spine. Yeah. Of the catheter. Good. It may not be fully in, but that's okay. Yeah.
That's good.
Yeah.
You want a 12?
You want,
It's a large vessel,
yeah,
huh?
yeah, 4.5 12.
I think.
So tell me,
You
You want to go and cut again or no?
where is your overlap? That is what I want to
No,
understand.
will not be overlap.
No
because
overlap.
remember, distal left main, mid to distal shaft of the left main and distally
Okay.
is completely normal. So our goal will be in this particular case,
Ah.
even if there was a little bit of beaking or some distal left main, yes. Otherwise, and 5 for balloon. Yeah.
Again,
So otherwise, yeah, that avoid the overlap in this particular case
Samir?
because there's no disease in the shaft and distal left main. Yes.
You made that statement without IVUS guidance that there's no.
Yeah.
You know, when we're doing left mains, and I'm just saying if I was doing this, I was very clear that I may have covered the whole of the left main unless unless IVUS had actually demonstrated that there was a gap between the LAD and the ostia. So I'm just giving you a thought process. I'm not saying that that's what you should
No,
do.
I
But
think,
I think it's for the discussion and understanding of the audience as well, that usually if you got so much of disease, then the left main's usually disease throughout. You really have an osteoproximal LAD without disease of the distal left main.
And I thought
I mean, if you
also address the
angiographically,
bifurcation by cutting
see this.
balloon.
now if you look at this angiograms,
Yeah, go ahead.
yeah, I mean, imaging guided, very important. I agree with that. But let me tell you something. So if you see here, angiographically, okay, the osteal LAD, then there's a large ramus, which is almost 3.2 to 3 point
Yeah.
vessel. Then you have a circ, which is only giving a LPL.
Right.
So essentially, it is osteal, angiographically osteal LAD, up to the prox, and then you have
Fine.
osteal left main.
Yeah.
So I think if somebody has no IVUS or not going to do IVUS, it's okay. I think IVUS is very important at the end to make sure you have full optimization. That is very important. No need to cover the entire osteal left main or into the LAD and jail the ramus and the circ, which is not deceased.
And even if there is a moderate, we may see a little plaque. I'm not saying that we're not going to see any plaque on the OCT in few minutes when we do. But question is it worth, jailing 2 vessels? Take a picture.
Yeah, okay,
Take the pacemaker. Not necessarily pacemaker.
go.
Yeah.
No,
Good.
I would go in.
Yeah. Okay. Go 1 millimeter in.
So what you have is a 4
And I think it's an
millimeter
important
Sierra.
point
The
is how.
4012.
Yeah,
Yeah, 4012 Zion Sierra. Good. I think that's okay.
No, it's not, did not go in. There's good and bad things of the FL guide. It's not a lot of
Support.
support, yeah.
Yeah.
Uh,
So we usually use a VL guides for that
That's what
purpose.
we used in the
Or
beginning.
XBs, everyone uses those EBU and XB guides. So just to give that extra support.
So what wire did you actually put down?
No, this is the run through wire.
Run
It's a
through.
run through.
My practice for these things, where I'm doing an osteal left main, is very clearly an all-star wire because it helps me to both have support without even intubating the guides.
Good.
Okay, ready?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think, but the thing is, see that angle in the beginning. Okay, some die now. What is too much, no?
No, you have to advance a little bit more, and you all try to avoid 8 millimeter. Always try to put at least 12.
I wanted 8.
Yeah, you want 8? Your 8 may fly out. You want 8, and
Absolutely.
we can put 8. Yeah, but no, this one should be able to go in. Yeah, enough room.
Yeah. I
If you
think
need to put 1 extra wire,
Okay, get us a fielder
yeah,
wire.
put filter wire. So clearly, yeah.
you recall the fact that your 38
Went in.
millimeter went through, and that was
Yeah,
because you had a buddy wire at that time.
Yeah. Yeah.
38 millimeter went through.
No, at that time also we were, fully engaged with the guide. Now the guide
Leave it
is
there.
outside.
And you also had the
Yeah.
buddy wire, isn't
Take
it?
it
You
out
also had the
completely.
rotor
Try
wire.
the body wire first.
Right. So always, and so here, huh?
The 80 is always an issue.
It
Yeah.
will curl up with the stent.
Okay, so we are putting a buddy wire of which we had originally the fielder. VT, any other question
Yeah.
from the audience and so and yours?
Yeah.
guide is away.
So, no, the question was that with the cutting balloon, you addressed the bifurcation. Possibly you had gone right up to the
No,
bifurcation.
no, ostium, only ostium. No bifurcation. There's no digi. Only ostium, yeah. And just to say that, no, let me complete on this cutting balloon. We have a 60 patient investigator initiated study in which we are testing this concept of the rota cut. Now, what is the concept? Concept is use burr to artery ratio of 0.3 in patients when you're doing the rotational atherectomy and using a cutting balloon compared to regular one, which is 0.5. Idea there is by downsizing the rota bar may have lower complication, and associated cutting balloon will give you better lumen, final stent lumen area. So it's a 60 patient trial. We just got approval from the FDA, final signature need to be, and then it's a IVUS imaging study, just to say basically why.
That's very
to scientific reason, yeah.
Yeah, that's a very good study. I think there's some indirect evidence for that, which exists at the moment for
you think
cutting balloon
and data will be sufficient to prove
no,
that?
No, I think it's a
no. This is just a concept. It's a hypothesis. Then we will do a randomized trial for the clinical endpoint. We do a cutting balloon again.
Huh? No, high pressure balloon.
Okay. 4 high pressure. So I think
we might have lifted some calcium.
You probably
no guideliner. No. Yeah, it could be. So do up. Yeah. I think we did not cut completely. So question was that maybe cutting balloon, although we saw it fully getting expanded, but may not have done the complete job in one of the, and one calcium might have been spiculed, very common. Yeah, very common. The calcium get spiculed and now your stent will not go. Knowing that the long stent has gone already there. Was clearly with the buddy wire. Now we are talking about the buddy wire here. And even then. So anyway, now we are going with the 4O.
I feel that
high pressure.
I feel that the guide catheter is not giving a proper backup.
Go up or die?
Good. Go up. Okay, die. Then if you want to watch. So we are across based on the calcium.
Good.
See?
Yeah. So no. We talked about the guide. We have to bring back the.
I would at this stage, while deflating, just push my guide, through over the balloon into the left main.
Yeah. No. We were able to advance the guide earlier, but question was the same.
Now you'd be able to do it.
Yeah.
Because you've got to anchor the balloon to push your guide.
The ostial. Now,
you cannot do again.
That's it.
If you cut again, we'll have to do the same. Stent will not go.
Yeah.
I think now you'll go because you just.
I think we have cut the ostium. What post balloon we have? 5O.
Yeah.
So with the buddy wire, I went back with the fielder, and right now the stent is going on the fielder. So run through is working as a buddy wire.
Yeah, I know guide is deeply seated inside because the pressure seems to be ventricularized. So
that's good.
Possibly you get good support and coaxiality.
Wow.
I think we're okay now.
Same thing. Hitting the roof somewhere. It's very funny.
Well, then
38 went.
Then you have to have a guideline up.
Can you go into caudal view?
Okay. 1 second. We are going to the another view.
Yeah. To see where your guide is in position to the ostia.
Yeah. Right. I think it did now.
No, still no.
You have
Advance the guide and
options are either you change for a support wire or for a guideliner.
Yeah. So guide is quite nicely now. It's deeply
but see,
intubated.
The thing is, every time you go in,
there's a calcium
then the guide comes out.
deep breath there.
The reason is that
deep breath here.
The guide is not getting the support from the opposite aortic wall. And so the moment you push the stent in or a balloon in, I think the guide will come out.
Deep breath in now.
You have to go with a 4-5 balloon or a
I'd go with
guideliner.
let's go with a guideliner.
Yeah.
Okay, get us a guideliner. 6 French is enough.
Consider,
I think
Two wires will be trouble.
but the two wires
7
is
French.
trouble. Yeah. Let's remove one wire. And
Yeah.
balloon.
Yeah, okay, no need for any breath. Right now, just relax. Few more minutes. So I would say, why don't just 1 second? Let's wait.
Yeah.
Let's pause here. Where is the 4O cutting balloon? Wolverine. Okay, here. 1 second. Go with the run through wire. Just go on run through.
so. Dr. Samin Sharma, one important
Yeah.
point which Dr. Kinney was demonstrating is while she was withdrawing the stent into the guide catheter, she was always coaxial to avoid deglobing of the stent from the balloon. Sometimes
Very
with
important. Yes.
very high profile 4.5 stents, which are bulky.
Also, I think that the one buddy wire doesn't give
You want to
you,
go?
yeah, you can use the second
Want to go to
buddy,
cranial
second
view
wire
again?
as a
No,
buddy.
no, no. Okay, go. See
Yeah,
here.
by my second wire
1
would have been a more support wire.
See, it's very
have
deep inside. There may be a spicule
Right
there.
there's a
Just one
spicule.
It's not even, this
Okay,
is
1
not
second,
going.
this is
See,
good.
it's not going.
Okay, just
Sure.
1 second.
Okay, go up.
You have a spicule definitely.
Yeah, there's a specule there.
Okay.
And,
Now
and
we had to
Samin,
cut at the ostium. Yeah.
did you go up to what sort of
This
pressure?
is 6.
18, 18,
Yep.
16,
No,
18?
4. Yeah, 4. Yeah, I'm going 16. I went, and
Yeah,
here I'm
sure.
cutting a little more of the ostium at
Sure.
18. So people are worried about cutting balloon going to high pressure. We
No,
go
it is a
16,
high
18
pressure balloon.
routinely.
Absolutely. It's a high pressure balloon.
So, and what also you need to do, pull back and then try to 1 second. Let it deflate 1 second. And then we try once again this to go. As long as it goes to the mid vessel, it's going to go.
It's not going.
That's
down.
fine. Fine. What do you need more than that?
That's where the stent is getting stuck. This is 6 millimeter.
Okay, hold it. Yeah.
We need to go beyond
Yeah,
that.
good. Okay, just 1 second. Yeah, that's fine. Just hold it 1
Mhm.
second. Still now, because knowing that it will be covered by the 12, and this is where we are having a little trouble with the, so question is you can put if you need 2 wires and 4O balloon, 4O stent, you need a 7 French guide liner.
Okay,
Good.
now
Venting,
it'll go.
good.
Yeah.
Good. Okay, now done. Good. So this is the cutting balloon. We went 16 atmosphere. So just to the audience again, it's okay to go to high pressure with the newer cutting balloon. The old cutting balloon were trouble, but the newer cutting balloon of the Wolverine and these Flextome, they're okay.
Yes, that's right. They do take high pressures.
Yeah, that go up to 14 now. If you really want, then the angiosculpt need to go to 20, 22 atmosphere. I have seen few of these cutting balloon rupture at 20. So 16, 18 is no problem, but 20 is no.
Yes, we commonly go to 16, 18 atmospheres on
Yeah.
the cutting balloons.
Yeah. You want to go to cranial view again?
No.
Deployment will be better in cranial view. Okay, let's put a wires further. Good.
You have a
Okay, get the guide liner.
No,
guideline.
1 second. 1 second. Let me work on it. Yeah. Okay, take a deep breath. Deep breath.
So the support is
Good.
nil.
Little die. I think we are okay. It's 12 millimeter.
Okay, let's
Take a
go
picture.
cranial. I
Let's
don't,
go.
not
One
here,
second.
not here.
Little
Cranially,
die.
we
No, I
need
know,
to
but
see.
here is done.
No, it is still sticking out a lot.
Huh?
It's sticking,
Okay,
sticking
go
out.
to cranial view.
This, we have
to
been here,
cranial view.
we have been here all the time.
Yeah. Okay, 1 second. Okay, hold it.
See?
Yeah,
That's okay. Yeah. No, this is all right. It's not sticking at all. Leave the other wire. We're okay.
I don't know.
Take the fielder wire
In the
out.
lower
Yeah.
part will be lots,
that's okay.
lot in the,
Fielder wire is out. We are going up now. Okay, I'm going up.
okay.
The patient? Yeah. Oh, impeller?
Yeah, 16 atmosphere and ostium will dilate and we have 5 already. I know we have about 10 minutes more. And we wanted to show one of the app which Dr. Kini has developed. We need 5 minutes on that to show a lot of educational activities. Yeah, you want to pull back a little bit?
Just have the wire down a bit.
Dr.
Just have the
Samir
wire down.
Sharma, we
Fantastic
have
lot.
already extended by 15 minutes the time of transmission. So we are not in a
Good.
hurry. We would like to see
Okay.
the end picture by imaging.
Yeah, no, you will definitely will see it. Yeah. Okay, I'm going up here, ostium. Good. Okay, I'm going higher pressure. Now it's out. There can go a little bit because you need to go to a bigger balloon anyway.
Yep.
20 atmosphere. Good. Your 5O balloon is ready. And then OCT is ready. Good. We have to show the OCT. Yeah, you take care now. Thank you. Thank you. Good. Don't advance on the balloon or wire only.
So guide is not in the
Okay.
vessel.
Yeah, so far good. Let's go with the balloon.
So
Okay,
you
take a picture.
Yeah, good.
So you got a 5mm balloon now?
Yeah, a 5O balloon.
Good.
And then we are ready with the OCT.
That's better.
So far, so
far-
good.
Absolutely.
Yep.
So far, so good.
Yeah. Yeah.
You're 5 into 8.
Yep.
Looks reasonably good.
Yeah, and looks nicely. Ostium, of course, whether 1 or 2 millimeter coming out. I said that
You know,
clearly
you
the
just-
ostial lesion, if you're not coming out, means you have not covered it.
I-
You need to come
I-
out with a few millimeter.
I agree. I mean, no osteal lesion is covered till you're actually before the ostia.
Yeah.
You
Yep.
can never nail the ostia because that's
Yeah.
it's not horizontal. It's always oblique.
Yeah, oblique. Good.
Here is the issue coming of
The diary,
longitudinal
okay.
compression. Samin, one wants
Yep.
to, yeah, longitudinal compression.
Going up?
Yeah, it's called LSD.
Yeah. So question is,
Longitudinal stent deformation. That's why I'm very careful with this guide.
Yeah.
You saw I went coaxial to get the balloon
20
inside.
atmosphere. Yep. Now we have to do ostium nicely flare. So now
Correct.
the
So you do
flare
high pressure
device.
here.
Yeah. Good.
Other one you can use is a osteal flare also.
Flash.
Flash balloon.
Good. Here you're going when 20 atmosphere.
Yeah.
Okay, down.
Okay. We're okay with the the OCT now. And we need to connect something different. You want to go to caudal view?
I'm not.
So again,
Yeah.
just as a teaching point, again, when it's ostial and stent is protruding, push the guide in on the deflating balloon so that you
Balloon. Yes.
Yes, I
That's
think
the important point.
very important point. And also,
And this is
I
where
think,
actually, yeah.
also, I think, Samin, I think when the repeat procedure is called upon for some reason or other, then I think one has to be very careful if the protruding portion of the stent is a little bit too much.
Right.
In fact, I had a couple of occasions where I had to do the distal lesion from the struts at the ostium, protecting outside by the side, from the side, not from the end point. I mean, from the proximal portion, but from the side strut.
No, that's a very important point. And so as demonstrated here, that when Dr. Kini advanced the guide, has to be on the deflated balloon. If you're only on the wire, remember what will happen. 1 or 2 millimeters is coming out, is going to enfold it. And actually, I have the practical experience here. One of the case which was done many years ago, my father of one of my friend, left main stent done, and the patient started becoming symptomatic 2 days later. It was just the ostial left main stent deformed, and we flew urgently and just set the stent correctly. So key is that stent deformation or the ostial, whether it's RCA or left main, is very common. So clearly, when you are engaging the guide for the last pictures, make sure you advance the guide catheter on the deflated balloon. Okay, now what we are doing, Dr. Kini, we are ready for the OCT. Okay, good.
Oh, wait.
That's okay. We'll not be able to do more than that.
Guide has to be coaxial.
You know what?
Yeah.
Oh man, no.
I think you're there.
I know,
No?
but I was trying to say.
Good. No, we're not ready for the puff yet. Are you ready for the puff?
Okay, can you 1 second? Is good? Not
Huh?
best.
No?
It'll be very difficult for you to get a good opacification. It's 5
And
millimeters.
we get IVUS quickly.
That's right. It's 5 millimeters. It cannot be pushed in too much.
Okay, ready?
You're going to
Let's
still
try.
stay out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Good.
You
We may not get the distal edge.
Otherwise, we'll go with the IVUS later. Yeah.
Yeah.
and you may not even see the proximal edge.
Yep. Good.
Well, this is where actually
Not say.
you can push the guide liner a bit out of your guiding catheter and get even far better injections than this.
Yeah.
Okay, now I
But
think
we need to, but
see
darling,
I
yeah.
think majority of maybe the last few millimeter of the LED stent we did not see. Otherwise, you've seen the LED stent very well and part of the left main stent. But definitely we'll never be able to get the ostial.
Yeah.
But how does it
Let's see. No, it's a fully expanded, good expansion. Kiski, tell us. Oh, he doesn't have, yeah.
A little bit sticking to left main.
Okay.
Well opposed.
Right point of view. Come out of the left set. Yeah, I want to tell you where to.
That's a LED stent, yeah.
Okay. Or just.
Can we see anything in the left main? Okay, sir. So show the native left main, so we can see that it's free of disease, right? Good. And keep coming back. Good. So this is the left main stent. Distal edge of the left main stent. Okay. You can.
And is it out in the aorta a little bit or not?
Not little bit, a lot.
It'll have to be out in the aorta.
Yeah.
And you won't
Yeah,
be able to
little
see
bit,
that
yeah.
anyway.
This is good.
So I'm still curious, Samin, that you kept persisting
Yeah.
with OCT when really this is the IVUS
An
would have
IVUS
given you
case.
all the information, and it's an IVUS
Yeah.
case. So I think you need to
Yeah.
explain that to the audience because they would be very confused why you keep persisting with OCT when actually IVUS would have shown you everything that you wanted to see very clearly.
That's
Yeah. Yeah, excellent point. Let me explain why IVUS versus OCT. I think I made it
In
very
this
clear
case.
in the early part of the case itself. We never did a pre. Because we had significant ostial disease and even the LED significant lesion, long lesion. Now, I'm not sure even IVUS would have traversed that tight lesion because a patient who already gets damped pressure with ST depression with the guide imaging, I would not do a imaging whether it is IVUS or OCT. So OCT here is a good tool for final optimization, and all studies more studies are coming out to say that OCT and optimization, which I think Dr. Pedro Moreno looked into, the ILUMEN study where they're focusing on what should be your final optimization criteria. And that is where I think why OCT probably is a better tool to understand. And there are some cases where we cannot do OCT, like in this case, if it's a large vessel, ostial disease, or a small vessel, significant lesion, patient has renal insufficiency, you don't want to give extra dye. So these are the cases where I think we should not be doing OCT. Otherwise, whatever the person's choice is, whether they want to do OCT or IVUS, you just have to be familiarized with the one kind of imaging
was-
device and just use that.
Dr. Keeney, it was for this case that I actually said that once you're doing a post-stent assessment, but
Yes.
now you've used OCT. Actually, this was an IVUS post-stent assessment because
Dr.
that's what
Samin Sharma,
would have given you every direction.
Dr.
I'm
Samin
not
Sharma, there is a
arguing
request.
against what you did, but
Why
what I'm
don't you
saying
do
is
an
that
IVUS just now?
It
And let
didn't
us
give
see
you
that
the-
also.
it
I
didn't
mean,
give you the
no
information that you really
contraindication to
wanted.
doing IVUS also when you have done an OCT also. I mean, we
And
can.
so I'm sure you know,
Yeah, for the
it's-
sake of teaching, let us go ahead and do IVUS.
and also if we're talking about external elastic
I was
lamina
ready.
measurements,
Yeah,
etc.,
yeah.
you can't get
Get
it
it
with
ready. We will extend by
inadequate,
15 minutes.
inadequate pictures. You can't get your dimensions with an inadequate pictures.
Very
No,
good.
no, no, yeah, the current OCT software, which is right here, you can see it. It tells you if is it fully optimized or no.
Yeah,
Where in IVUS, you don't have that kind of a software. You absolutely don't have that kind of a software.
Dr.
And these
That's-
images are very good.
No, this co-registration, we can see it over here. That's
Yes.
perfect, fine. But let's get some good pictures, especially at the ostium also.
That's right. Absolutely.
Okay.
Let's
No,
get some
let
good
me- let-
pictures of the left
listen.
main.
Yes. So I would say that we need to make everybody happy. So we
Yes,
are going to
yes.
do IVUS also. The goal is keep everyone happy as long as there is no harm to the patient. And this
Okay.
is what the
Let me tell
particular
you,
case. So
ostial,
Yeah.
even with IVUS, you'll not be able to see
Yeah.
ostial expansion.
Good.
Let's be very clear.
Yeah.
You'll not be able to see it.
Yeah.
Because you will be at an angle.
Yeah.
So just to,
We understand
one
that.
more point.
Yeah.
So why the question is, well, actually, no, but this is a very important point, which Dr. Ashok said raised, that why is OCT in this particular case? Why not IVUS? So very simple. Our purpose was, as you saw it, we did only in the end to see the stent optimization. That's it. So if there was any question about vessel sizing, degree of calcification and all that, you can do both of them. But to me, IVUS would have served the better purpose if there was some ambiguity. Our goal was, initially the plan was to do OCT just for the final stent optimization. We learned that those minor dissections and so on and so forth, the stent of position, we can see it with the IVUS also, but OCT would just do a little better job. So in this particular case, was it absolutely necessary to do OCT? No, just to say that in our lab, we actually, the imaging is done in single digits. And Mount Sinai, we do lot of physiological, about 62% our coronary interventions are done with IFR or FFR, 90% FFR, but imaging is done in single digits and more so in the patients with the, very rarely we do pre basically because we don't go through this whole algorithm that do you need to see a calcium to do a decalcific strategy of the atherectomy, because they will decide on the angiogram and then we just do it based on the angiogram, atherectomy and so. But post, particularly the left main, is the one which we'll routinely do. Having said that, I need to keep all our camp ready, and actually BP Shah had a great suggestion. Let's do the IVUS also. Let audience decide what could have been the better technique in this particular case. So IVUS is ready. Dr. Keen is ready to put the IVUS catheter, and let's hope it goes easily, just like the OCT went. Can we remove the pacemaker?
Even
Okay,
if it
then remove
shows
the
us the
pacemaker.
left main, that's fine
Yeah.
with us. I mean, more
Good.
interested in the left main
Correct.
IVUS pictures.
Absolutely.
Good.
That's
Okay.
what matters.
It's going.
I mean,
It's going. Going.
We
Okay,
have to
stop
see
that.
Good.
what we
Good.
we
Stop.
have to see
Yeah.
what we do with clarity, and I think that's
Okay.
for me is the most important.
Let's the audience decide. They want to
Yeah.
watch black and white TV or they want the top-notch Apple color TV.
Okay.
Can I start?
Yeah.
Okay, start. Start from the LED stent.
This is the LED stent. Yeah.
Yeah, well expanded.
Kiski is our honorary imaging fellow from Japan. He has written a lot of papers
One,
and
three.
has done tremendous work.
Now,
The
it
stent
should-
definitely is exposed.
Okay, now we are coming to the distal left main. Yeah, distal left main.
Calcium is almost.
That may be that spicule that are not allowing the stent
Yeah,
to go forward.
But Ashok answered that question. The distal left main is good without any disease
Yeah.
there
Okay.
and
there.
good.
Yeah,
And the
okay.
stent expanded. Very short stent.
Yeah.
Now,
You can
so
go,
a little bit
go
sticking to
front
the,
and back at the
aorta.
osteum. Front and back.
Yeah,
How
at
about
but
the
that's-
osteal lesion?
Yeah.
And
But we did it.
no,
Show
no,
the
no.
osteum
Remember
right here. Look
now,
at this.
now we are
Yeah.
getting into LSD.
Yeah.
That's
So
what
look
we are
at the
saying. You
beautiful,
should not be doing
nice
that.
expansion, 1 millimeter back. And with that note, I just want to,
No, I think actually OCT showed better than I was.
well, I
The
was sure.
osteal, if you see it,
Yeah.
go back and forth,
Yeah.
you see you're
Good.
coming back, shows this is the
LED.
yeah,
This is,
LED.
yeah.
This is
top
left
edge of the
main,
area.
this is the left main,
Yeah.
come back.
Yeah, there's calcification,
Here
the
it is.
distal left vein.
Yeah, yeah,
that's
yeah.
But good lumen.
Yeah, good lumen.
So I would say that, remember, we can have this whole discussion
1, 2,
entire day
3.
on this.
Mhm.
Yeah, would have been better or so. So we leave that alone, good lumen,
Yeah.
and let the audience who have seen both of them, and they will decide themselves. If we can go to the slide.
No,
I
where
know
are
we
you
got
going?
10 more minutes. No, we
Don't
showed it
show
already.
LED,
What is
just
it?
come to the osteal
Osteal
left
left
main.
Yes.
Yeah, this is the osteal left main. Good, good. Hold
Okay,
it.
keep coming back.
Yeah.
No,
This
no,
is-
I want to say that we could not get a good image of osteal left main because
There you have.
you're coming
Yeah.
back, coming
We have
back.
that.
This is healthy left knee.
Stand nicely opposed.
Yeah. This is this direction.
Distal, that's distal.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just keep coming back. And that's,
Good.
you just,
Yeah, see the calcium, which is eccentric, and possibly
Correct.
there was a nodule there.
yeah, I saw that.
The expansion is eccentric.
Eccentric.
and,
And this is the ostia.
Yeah.
Just,
Yeah,
you just
this is the
cross
ostia.
ostia.
Correct.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, but the
Okay,
area
so-
is quite good. Area is quite
Very
good. Despite the,
Yeah, area is already 12.
yeah.
12 millimeters. So, okay, let's go to the slide now. We got few minutes have been extended. I just want to thank our viewers of CCC Live. As you know, this has been a tremendous success for 10 plus years, 132 countries, average about 14, 15,000. The USA is 71%. And I thank our Indian audience, making number second India, 13%, UK 7, Germany, Brazil, the top 5. The key is, wanted to ask Dr. Keeney to take the tell about. If you want to show the last picture again.
This
Okay,
is the last
show
picture.
the picture again, and then we go to this 1 minute on the app. No angiogram.
And you-
This is the final picture. Yeah, this is the final picture on this particular case. All the branches remain, osteal
good.
LED, and no dampening now. See, the guide is nice, no dampening. So great. point.
Show the hemo, please, once more.
Once more, show the hemodynamics now. I always say that your stent covered the ostium if there is no dampening. And look at this, no dampening now. Okay, so let's go back to the slide. We got 3-4 minutes to complete our presentation of today. And I'll give this now reach to Dr. Keeney, the mastermind of this CathLabAppsCardiology.com.
Yeah, so the various apps that we have created, because I think teaching is moving, like you guys see now, to the digital format, more live cases on Zoom and lectures on the Zoom. So I think no more books, it will be on the digital format. We came up with the Bifurcate app way back in 2017, and you see there it is close to 19,000 downloads. So essentially management of bifurcation. We always tell what is the most technically challenging scenarios for interventional cardiologists. We are always, the question is whenever we go to the meeting, sessions of bifurcation, calcium, and CTO. This is where everybody wants to learn, because that is where these are technically challenging. Why? Because there's no one way of taking care of these patients. And you see, even today, there was so much back forth discussion just in this calcific lesion. And that is where the app bifurcates. All these apps are free to download either from Apple Store or Google Play, whichever they want. Now, we showed the OCT, but if you want to learn more about OCT, how to do the OCT, as well as understanding the images, that is where I think the issue is to understand what is a normal vessel, what is an abnormal vessel with calcium, no calcium. We have what is called as octate. The next two, tower cathode, is that when structural heart came into existence, patients were getting tower. Now, then reaccess of the coronary arteries, because we are now entering into 8 to 10 years of these patients who have had tower, they're coming back with MI and angina, reaccess through this new valves harder. So we actually published in JACC what kind of catheters you can use to actually reaccess. So subsequently we made an app, and An upgrade of this app will be coming up. Will be released during our structural heart symposium in December. Transeptate is a way how to do. You can do various way of septal, especially for mitral clips, as well as TMVR, Watchman. How can we do these things? Now, Calcificate is an app where whatever we discussed today, we only taught rotational atherectomy. The other devices that are available out, how to define calcium and how to take care of this calcific lesion. That's where the Calcificate will tell you rotational atherectomy, the steps, very easy to understand the steps of rotational atherectomy, OA, laser, and of course, we'll now have to upgrade to the IVL catheter when it's available here in the United States. What we just released is a web app, actually is a web where you can go to cardiologyapps.com and go to what's called as Complicate. What we did is went through the all the complications which Mount Sinai Cath Lab had for the last 15 years. Interesting teaching cases. We have put it on the website. Over 800 angiograms being shown exactly what are the various complications that a interventionalist faces in the cath lab, how to manage them, and how you could have avoided it. Now, what we have learned in the last 20, 25 years, our knowledge of managing this complication has been presented in what is called as the Complicate. It's a web app, and everybody should visit this Complicate.
And this actually is very successful. Within 4 months, already 7,000 people have been users. Next.
Yeah.
Yeah. Good.
And these are the upcoming apps. STEMI Cathode is actually a platform. What I would say is a communication platform. How STEMI as well as cardiogenic shock patients can be brought into the cath lab without cutting more of the I would say ED and other kind of places where these patients are currently getting lodged on. And a guide wire is something which I think most fellows wanted from us. Is there are over 150 guide wires available. The question is why, which guide wire, during which scenario, understanding actually the physics behind each guide wire, especially for CTOs. So that is the guide wire app, and 3D bifurcation is an extension of bifurcation app, which is the Bifurcate app. This is where now we are animating and showing how exactly to do these procedures with an animation. Mostly the techniques of mini-crush, decay crush, culotte, whether it's left main and non-left main, how to handle this bifurcation device, lesions.
Okay, with that note, I really thank Dr. V.T. Shah, AIM 2020, and all the panelists to really be giving the chance and having a very educational discussion. And just after every case, we talk about what was done for this case. You want to say? Yeah,
the total contrast use we have had is 150 cc's, and the radiation, very important that we always have to make sure that the complex cases are done, but at the same time, the patients are well protected, because we have to report the radiation dose of the patient. If it's more than 5 gray, the total we had is 1.6 gray, which is very good, and total fluoro time about 32 minutes. This is something that we document, and anything that is gone beyond the bell curve is reported to the New York State.
Yep.
Yeah, so now the final comments from our experts, Dr. A.B. Mehta and Dr. Ashok Sheth, on this live demonstration. Dr. Ashok Sheth?
Yeah, so I think it was a great case. Very great learning experience. Would say a challenging case. Left mains are always challenging. You just made it look very effortless, I would say. It had calcification, dealing with calcification in different modalities. You had rotational atherectomy as well as Wolverine to be demonstrated. And then, of course, final optimization and getting the best results. So it actually had a lot of tricks in it. Again, tricks, which is always, any smooth case is always a bad case, because then there's no teaching, there's no learning.
Yeah.
There's nothing that you got to convey to people. It has to have problems. It has to have problems you can overcome and demonstrate how you overcome. So congratulations to you both. Enjoyed it thoroughly. I think these are the cases which are great learning experience. Both of you have done a tremendous job in education, teaching, and as well as excelling in the field of interventional cardiology. Keep it up. Proud of you.
Yeah. Dr. A.B. Mehta, please.
Thank you.
Dr. A.B. Mehta, sir, are you there? Okay.
I think he's having a coffee now.
So
having a little drink.
Yeah. No, I think on behalf of AIM 2020 and all our attendees and panelists, I extremely thankful to Dr. Samin Sharma and Dr. Annapurna Kini and the whole staff of Mount Sinai Hospital to work on a Sunday and show us this live, extremely educative case on left main calcification and complex bifurcation case. So extremely thankful to you for this live demo, and I hope that you, as usual, you will be educating us in the future years. Thank you very much, and a big round of
Fantastic.
applause.
Thank you. Thank you.